This is Villa Rajendra, lecturer in English, Government Degree College, Mantani, District, Peddapalli. Today, I would like to discuss the topic of degrees of comparison in sentences. Now, in normal way, degrees of comparison means try to know there are three kinds of the sentences which can we see. What is we can say that for while we are learning about the sentences, we can start learning with sentences of affirmatives, which can call it as declaratives, and the second one is imperative, and the third one is interrogative, and the fourth one is exclamatory. From all these sentences, they are all written in the form of beginning with a capital letter, ends with full stop, and having the structure of having good arrangement of the words in sentence, in a sentence that we call as sentences. And degrees of comparison is also one of the topic that we can say while we are learning about the sentences. We start learning sentences in positive sentence and a negative sentence. For positive sentence, we can see there is no there is only one approach, so that is a positive approach about the sentence. That is what we can say, that positive sentence. For negative sentence, we can see the negative words like not is represented here. When we go through with the degrees of comparison, we can see there are three degrees of comparisons in English. One is a positive degree, which we can say that all kinds of sentences comes into the category of positive degree. Positive degree means positive sentence. Comparative degree means as we know that there is a comparison between two things or two persons may be represented in the comparative degree. And superlative degree means the degree that means one thing is compared with others, all the others, which is a superlative, which is anonymous, which is a higher, which is a high quality and a higher in the sense we can use the superlative degree. And look at the picture and complete the sentence. The Nile is the longest river in the world. The Ganga is the longest river in India. Ganga is the longest river in India. The Ganga is smaller than Nile. The Nile is smallest, longest. The Nile is the longest river than Ganga. Nile is the longest river than the Ganga. And look at the other sentences and try to understand what about the sentences in the picture. George is as old as Tom. George is as old as Tom. George is fairer than Tom. George is fairer than Tom. The first sentence is about the comparison is George is as old as Tom. That means it's a positive sentence. Both you are born in the same day. That means whether they are both born in the same day, then we can say that they are as old as Tom. And the George is fairer than Tom means here it is a comparison. Here it is a comparison. Comparative sentence. Tom is darker than George. Tom is darker than George. It is also one of the comparative sentence. And look at this sentence and try to understand the picture properly. The man is taller than woman. The man is taller than the woman. It is a comparative degree sentence. A woman is shorter than the man. The woman is shorter than the man. It is also comparative degree. This man is the tallest person that I have ever seen. This man is the tallest person that I have ever seen. So it is a superlative degree because the man is compared with the person who has seen before. So it is a superlative degree. And look at the sentences and try to make yourself, which is a which you can make comparative as well as a superlative as well as positive. Look at the sentence, look at the picture and compare them. Who is the favorite? Who is your favorite actress? Who do you like the best? Why do you like best? So, if you look at this Rani Mukherjee is fairer than Divya. Rani Mukherjee is fairer than Divya. So try to analyze yourself and try to compare whether you can make it up possible or not. Try to compare it and look at the picture and compare too. Ganguly is more a successful captain than Sachin. Ganguly is more successful captain than Sachin. It is a comparative degree. Sachin is more talented batsman than Ganguly. It is also comparative degree. So both have talent, but they have talent in the different field. Different field means in the field of cricket as well as the one is best batsman and another one is best captain, like that. So Sachin is the highest run maker in the one-day cricket. It is what we can say superlative degree. Sachin is the highest run maker, highest. So all the try to understand all the superlative degrees may be explained with the adjectives of EST, highest, lowest, smallest, thinnest, brightest, like this. One day, Sachin is the highest run maker in the one day cricket. And look at the sentence, try to compare yourself. And the CD is more expansive than tape recorder. So cassette. The CD is more expansive than the tape recorder. More expansive. More expansive means here, expansive is a word which is used as a normal way, but we are added for the adjective, that is more. More, it becomes a comparative sentence about the comparing CD and cassette. The dash is cheaper than the. So the cassette is cheaper than the CD. The cassette is cheaper than the CD. The cassette is cheaper than the CD. Here we are comparing the cassette with CD. Next, the dash more attractive than the CD is more attractive than the CD. The cassette is, so the CD is more attractive than the cassette. Next, the dash is less attractive than the cassette is less attractive than the CD. Continue the comparison. Sound. Dan sampai ni ampu. Thalkam narai. Look at sentences. The is less. The cassette is less attractive than the CD. Then we can go through with the comparisons. Look at the picture and express your preferences. Do you like traveling by train or by car? Why? You can try to compare. Which do you think is cheaper? That means you can compare. For this also you can make a sentence about the comparison. Which do you think is faster? This is also what you can make the sentences. Which do you think is more comfortable? You can also make the sentences from this also. Try to understand which roses do you like, whether you can like white or red or black, whatever it may be, try to compare it. And which color do you like best, and which flower do you like the least, and do you think that it is better to live in a village or a city? Try to make the comparisons. Which is better and why? Try to make the comparisons and try to go through with the availability of everything and availability, non-availability in the villages like schools and cities. You can try to make it a comparison. And which is the best village or city according to you and why? You can make the sentences. Apples are more than expensive than oranges. So why it is why expensive? You can go through with the sentence like more expensive apples are more expensive than oranges. It's a sentence of the comparison. Oranges are more cheaper than apples. It is also another comparison. More cheaper. You can go through with oranges are more cheaper than apple. And which do you think is a sweeter? Try to make it a sentence. So apples are more sweeter than oranges. Oranges are less sweeter than apples. They do like this. We can make the comparisons. Which one do you like the better? And go through the comparison of this also. The tiger and the lion. Both are tiger, and the lion think they are all the best, and work in a pair and prepare the dialogue, and take up the roles and present the dialogue in the classroom with yourself. And Aishwarya is more beautiful than Karina. Karina is less beautiful than Aishwarya. And Aishwarya is the most beautiful actress in the Bollywood. And I like Aishwarya the most beautiful actress because she is a Miss World like this. And try to make the comparisons. Do you visit places? And have you seen the Taj Mahal and Ajanta caves? Try to make the comparison. Which one is more beautiful? Like Taj Mahal, you can say that Taj Mahal is more beautiful than Ajanta caves. And what are the places that you have seen? And try to make it a comparison about the scenes which you have seen. And which do you think is the best place and why? And look at the pictures and try to understand about the sentences. Robin is the fastest runner of this group. Robin is the fastest runner of this group. Robin is the faster than all others. It's a superlative, faster than. That means the first one is a superlative degree. Second one is a comparative degree, faster than. And nobody else is as fast as Robin. It's a positive degree. Nobody else is as fast as Robin. And look at the other sentences about the comparatives and superlatives. Diamond is the hardest of all substances. It's a superlative degree, and it is harder than all the other substances. It's a comparative degree. And that is the fastest plane at the present. It is the faster than all of the planes. Fastest and the faster. Fastest is the superlative degree. It is faster than all other planes. It's a faster. The Amazon is the deepest river in the Brazil. It is the deeper than all the rivers in Brazil. Deepest is superlative degree, and deeper you can go through with the positive degree, comparative degree. Day are warmer than night. Night are cooler than the day. Night are more cooler than the days. Coolest. More means it's cooler. Cooler than the days. Nights are more as cool as cool as the days. It's a comparative degree and positive degree. And let's go through with the fastest. Jet is the fastest plane. So we have seen the jet. It's the fastest plane. It's a superlative degree. And the Ganga is the biggest river in India. It's also superlative degree. And diamond is the hardest of all the substances. And the man is taller than the woman. It's a comparative degree. And Sachin is a more talented batsman than Ganguly. It's also comparative degree. And George is the fairer than Tom. It's also comparative degree. And you can make the comparative sentences which you can see on the screen. Which car or bike would like to buy and why? So you have to give some reasons. So which one is better and which one is not better for you, and who is better singer and why do you like him, and who is better dancer. You can make the comparisons, and what is the best quality each in. You can make the comparisons. And Adesami is the more popular than Michael Jackson. It means Adnan Sami is less popular than the Michael Jackson about the singing songs. And let's we do exercises like fill in the blanks and appropriate words. Sunil can run faster than Anil. Can run faster. Faster means it's a comparative. Arnold is stronger than Tom. Stronger. Salman is dash than Arbaz. Older than. A bike is dash than a car. Cheaper. The piano is dash, then the sitar, heavier. Indian food is dash, then Chinese food, nicer. The truck is bigger than the jeep, big. And the Taj Mahal is the nicest hotel in Mumbai. Sachin is the greatest batsman in the world. I am the happiest person in the world, happy. Amul is the biggest dairy in India. Nile is the largest river in India, in the world. The Nile is the largest river in the world. The Mount Everest is the highest mountain range in the world. Bill Gates is the richest person in the world. And look at the other way of learning. Adjectives of the comparison. Remember, there are the adjective describing the words like a positive degree, like a fast, slow. There are some examples. Go through with the positive degree. Fast, slow, big, small. Look at the sentences of the positive degree, how we can use it. This is used for when we are only describe one person or one thing. Positive degree can be described with only one thing or one person. The house is big. Look at the sentence. The radio was loud. Look at the activity. Write your 4 sentences using the positive degree of comparison. Use the words on the board like small. My pencil is small. My pencil is small than other pencils. Like you can go through with the examples of the comparative of the positive degree. And degrees of comparison, you can go through with the comparative degrees. And what we can see, the comparative degree. The comparative degree, this is when we compare 2 people or 2 things to each other. This is the comparative degree with the comparison of 2 people or 2 things each other. Faster. Fast is the positive degree, and you can use the faster for the comparative. And slow is a word used for the positive degree, and you can use it as slower, big, bigger, small, smaller, tall, taller. I am tall as, I am tall, he is taller. I am tall, he is taller. That means positive and comparative degrees. The house is big, but my house is bigger. So we have seen the example right now. The house is big, but my house is bigger. It's a comparison. And the boy is fast on his bicycle, but I am I am faster. The boy is fast on his bicycle, but I am faster. The radio was loud, but the TV was louder. The radio was loud, but the TV was louder. Painful. It can be used in the positive degree as more painful. These are the examples and exemptions. We can say that exemption means we can use the word. There is no other words like painer, painist. This word more and most can be used as adjectives for the FULs, and expansive like E also. So hopeful, more hopeful, beautiful, more beautiful, expansive, more expansive. So adjectives ending with the FUL or E, we use more, or we can use for the superlative degrees as most. Good, better. These are the exemptions from the rule of what we can say adjectives are made for the comparison ER, and for superlative degrees EST. Good, better. Bad, worse. May, much. So it means many, much. Many can be said as more or most. Most for superlative. Good, better for comparative. Best for superlative. Bad, worse, worst. Worst for superlative. Little, a few. Less, lesser. Less, and lesser for superlative. And comparative, less. Far, farther, farther. We can go through with the farthest. Farthest. Old, older or elder, eldest or oldest for superlative degree. The activity, just try to understand, divide the cards equally. That means if we can play the cards, and we try to go through with the sentences for the comparatives and superlatives for adjectives. You can go through with one word like a good for the player 1. Player 2 has to say better, and that is what a comparative degree adjective, and player 3 has to mention that best about the superlative degree. And it's a activity that means player 1 choose to category of comparative, speed, intelligence, strength, like that. Player 2 has to choose, player 3 have to choose their own cards, and the person has to compare the animal or the fastest gets and to keep both cards, and the winner also gets to choose to next category, and the person with the most cards win. You can try to win the games. And degree comparison for the superlatives, so we can see super used as comparing more than two people or two things. Used when comparing more than two people or two things. Fast, faster. Then the adjectives like est should be added here. Fast, faster, fastest. Slow, slower, slowest. Big, bigger, biggest. Small, smaller, smallest. Tall, taller, tallest. Like that. And for example, he was the fastest in the bicycle race. He was the fastest in the bicycle race. And she was the smartest girl in the class. She was the smartest girl in the class. The biggest house on the block was for sale. The biggest house on the block was sale. The slowest computer in the class belonged to Mr. Brockway. Miss Brockway. The slowest computer in the class belongs to Mr. Brockway. And Superman was the strongest and fastest of all superheroes, but Spider-Man was the most flexible. Most flexible. The word adjective ending with the E can have the comparatives as more or superlatives most. Superman was the strongest and fastest. Superlative again, superlative word for all the superheroes, but the Spider-Man was the most flexible. There are superlative degrees. Painful, you can use more painful. FUL words as used as more or most painful. Hopeful, more hopeful, most hopeful. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Flexible, more flexible or most flexible. Adjectives like ending FUL or E used for most in superlative degree. And for example, good, better, best, there are the exemptions. Bad, worse, worst. Many, much, more, most. Little, few, less, least. And identify the degree. The lion is a strong animal. It's a positive degree. Rachel is the kindest of all, superlative degree. The apple is sweeter than the pear, comparative degree. It is a tall building, positive degree. The felicitated Nanthia had the most wonderful birthday cake. It's a superlative degree. And for example, big dogs are gentle than the small dogs are gentle. Gentler means it's a comparative degree. Of all the dogs in the world, English is the mastiffs are the gentlest. It's a superlative degree. Big dogs are more gentle than small dogs. It's a comparative degree. Of all dogs in the world, English mastiffs are the most gentle. It's also comparative degree. And irregular adjectives like comparative, like as we have seen, little, less, least, more, many, more, most, good, better, best, bad, worst, worst. We can go through with go, went, uh, gone. Like this, so we can go through with the comparative form. Italian food is better than the American food. So it's a comparative degree. My dog is the best dog in the world. It's a superlative degree. My mother is cooking is my mother's cooking is worse than your mother's cooking. It's a comparative degree. Then of all students in the class, Max is worst. Max is the worst. It's a superlative degree. Then go through with other way of learning adjectives of the comparatives, comparative sentences. Adjectives are the words that we can see that can describe a noun or pronoun. Adjectives are the words we can see it as they are describing a word or noun. Are words that describe a person or a place or thing or event. For example, the pencil is long. The maker is longer than the pencil. The marker is longer than the pencil. So first one is positive degree. Second one is the comparative degree. The ruler is the longest among the three. The ruler is the longest among the three. It's a superlative degree. For degrees, we can see the positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. And the positive degree is the comparison is used to state the quality of a person or a thing without comparing with others persons or things. It's a positive degree. The form of the adjective is not changed. Example, long, quiet, expensive, young. For comparative degrees, comparison is used when two persons or two things are being compared It is expresses that the quality a quality of is present to a greater or lesser degree in one or two persons or two things is compared. And the superlative degree is the form to compare the degrees. Degree er is added to the one syllable adjectives. The word more or less is used with adjectives having uh, er means here for comparative we can go through with the er. That means like sweet, sweeter, good, better. Like this we can use the er. And for words like ending adjectives ending with the ful or e, we can use more or less. For the adjectives having more or more syllables, we can go through with the comparative words like more or less. And with the two syllables of adjectives, we can use er or the word more or less, use it for comparative of the sentences. Go through with the positive and comparative. Long, longer. Longer for er. Quite, more, quite. Et. Expansive, less expansive, or more expansive. Young, younger. We can go through with this. And for superlative degrees, the superlative degree of comparison is used to comparing the three or more persons or things. It expresses that the quality is possessed the greatest or the least or least degree one by one of by persons or things included in the comparison. And to form superlative degrees, we can use the est is added and one syllable of the adjectives, and the word most and least is used for the adjective have three or more syllables. And with the two syllables we can go through with the est and with the word most. Longer, longer, longest. Long, longer, longest. Quite, more quite, most quite. Expansive, less expansive, least expansive, least. Young, younger, youngest, like this. And big, bigger, biggest. Shine, shiners, shiniest. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. Simple, simpler, simplest. And go through with other examples. Positive and comparative degrees. Nutritious, more nutritious, and most nutritious. Delicious, less delicious, least delicious. Modest, more modest, most modest. Respect, more respect, more respectful, more respectful, most respectable for superlative degrees. And for more examples, sweet, sweeter, sweetest. Pretty, prettier, prettiest. Studious, less studious, or more studious. Most studious or least studious can be used for superlative degree. Beautiful, more beautiful or less beautiful, most beautiful or least beautiful for the words of superlative degree. And positive degree, good, well, better, best. Good can be also said in the better, best, and well can also say it for the comparative better and for superlative best. Bad or ill can be made into comparative as worse as well as worst in superlative. Many, much is for the comparative made as more, and for superlative is most. Little, less, least. For positive degree, we can use the little. For comparative degree, we have to use the little as less, and as for superlative degree, we have to make it as a least. Try to understand some of the positive comparative degrees of the sentences, and try to understand which one is try to fill in the blanks with your pronunciation. Bright, brighter, yes, brightest. Kind, kinder, kindest. Bold, bolder, boldest. Cold, colder, coldest. Clever, cleverer, cleverest. Worst, that means we can say that worse, worser, worst. Brave, braver, bravest. Play, pale, paler, palest. White, whiter, whitest. Costly, costlier, costliest. From this, I would like to end my session, and